So I want to cover this one. I have a little background music going, so it's like a little loud. It's called High Sign Brewing Company. So far, the beers I've had are very smooth, very enjoyable. Had a little more flavor than normal. This is 5.1. It's a fruited blonde ale. The focus on is blueberry. So my favorite color is blue. It's hard to find food that's blue, that's natural. You know, blueberry is one of the ones that fit in the category apparently. But when it comes to beer, it's very hard to get that very fruitful flavor of blueberry in it. So it takes either a lot of it with some sugar or artificial. And the only other one was called like, was it Salty Dog, which is pretty solid, but it's very sweet. And then there's one called Blue, and that was super sweet, but it was very blueberry. So other companies will cut in with artificial flavor. And artificial flavor is not the same. It gives you the perception of flavor utilizing your nose and your taste buds. These are connected and they know that. So artificial flavors like Skittles, if you plug your nose, you're really not gonna taste much. You might get a little bit of some of the flavor, but it's not natural, it's super concentrated. Usually it's in oils or things like that. Like you have watermelon cupcakes, it's weird. But between your nose and your mouth, they're interconnected and they help each other out. So if you smell it, you taste it. If you can't smell, your taste dies down very drastically to little to nothing sometimes. So this one, I like it. It's a wheat beer, or blonde. So it has a beautiful body of a light wheat beer, but it has subtle sweetnesses that help enhance it. And they worked it well where it's not sugary, it's not sweet. You get beautiful, beautiful blonde and blueberry flavor. So I had it before. First time was in Magnolia Cafe, which thanks them. And then obviously see it's a blonde beer, so it's gonna look more like it's an ale. Obviously, it's either lagers or ales are the main two categories. But it definitely has. It starts to go into more of the wheat style. Starts to get a little thicker. Starts to get a little more, something going on. But the aroma and the color in this one's phenomenal. So High is located on 1201 Bastrop Highway in Austin, Texas. So I will have to go visit them. So far, this was the one that got me hooked. So off the bat, you get a beautiful blueberry, the blonde malty sweetness, golden almost. When you drink it, it just hits you with the blueberry, and then the blonde just takes over. The blonde ale just takes over, and it's gorgeous. It has enough sweetness where if you're not a sweet person, you can enjoy a couple. Get that sweet tooth out of your system. If you have a sweet tooth, this is just phenomenal, because it's not sugary, but it's like, it reminds you of all that beautiful sweetness, and it's not going to be equivalent to the ones that are super sugary, because trust me, that blue one was like liquid sugar, but it was so good because it helped you hold on to the blueberry flavor. So it was like liquid blueberry syrup, but that's not something you're going to want every day. This one's more casual, a little more savory, touch of sweetness, beautiful blueberry. I love it. So here's to you, High. You still get a little bitterness from the beer because that's natural. The bitterness is to help counter the super sweetness from the malt. The hoppiness helps as well. Basically, there's like a little bit of bitter, but the hops is what makes it bitter to where you can taste it, so it doesn't taste like liquid sugar. That balance is beautiful and it's helpful, but grains do have a lot of sugars, and that's why we brew them to get the beautiful flavor out for the yeast to thrive off of it and make alcohol. So at 5.1, I think you'll enjoy it. It's a very simple packaging. It looks like that. So if you're new, hopefully this caught your attention. If you haven't had blonde beers, this is a spoiler, so I would recommend try a couple blondes and then have this, because with food and beer, no matter what, when you try something amazing and then you go this way, it is hard to climb back up that mountain. But if you have something where it's good, you get an understanding, and then you go to something that you really, really like, so if you end up loving this beer, you're gonna want those other ones to compare it to help you expand on beer. If you go straight to this one, it'll ruin you, and they'll probably stick to that beer for a while. But if you're okay with that, it's up to you. This is just my advice. This is just a verbal interpretation with my sensors to help you understand through this picture of what you're looking forward to. If you're not experienced in beer, if you're experienced in beer, this is a quick hit or miss. Yeah, it's not for me. Yeah, I like that. I get it, Honestly, if you like lagers and a couple of the ales, amber ales, all that stuff, this is more of your line, you know. If you have sweet tooth, cool. If you're cool with that, if you're not big on sweet, if you're not big on beer, then you know to miss it. If you have a couple beers you love, but you're not big on it, this might not be for you. But this is to help clarify, get you to where you want to be, where you ought to be, where you feel like being. And then when you have friends that have different profiles, to ask the right questions and know what to get them. Because the number one question, I just say, is there one beer that the person likes that you can name? Oh, well, I don't know. It's like, I can't help you. It's just, unfortunately, beer breaks off into many categories. So this one follows blonde, fruit, ale. That's it. Those are the basic core three things. If they have 2 or 3 of those in any description of beer that they've had before, you can get them this and they might like it, you know. But if they have none of that and they do a lot of hoppy beers, you're picking the wrong beer. I wish you luck. I wish hopefully they just like it. It's like the quencher in between beers or the palate cleanser, because that's the best I can do. So it's taking a little while, but I wanted to cover a lot of stuff. Going back and forth from beers to ales and lagers, you know, is every once in a while I need to have a video that breaks all this down and reminds you of what you're looking for and why you're even checking these videos out. So I hope it's informative, it's helpful, it's inspiring, clarifies it for a friend, helps you to share with somebody. But in the end, this is just one that I can go to. My girlfriend enjoys it. We can have a great time, and have friends that are not big on beer. They'll probably love this, and this is probably the one I would buy to bring over to that to share with them. My beer is gonna be hoppy. Pale ales, IPAs, double IPAs, just boom, barrel aged, I'll take it all. But on average, when you don't know, this is what's going on. If someone describes being too heavy and they feel full and they burp a lot, this is not the beer. You want to go with lighter. You want to go with light lagers and stuff because they don't like that. It just doesn't appeal to them. For me, I'm a big eater, so this is like literally the equivalent of filling up on food. And so since I like deep, rich, heavy foods, this is not a problem. I enjoy it very much. So other than that, please add on, you know, subscribe, whatever. I put this on multiple channels, obviously. Now I can put the full video so you can get the full spectrum of what I'm trying to reach out and trying to do. There's tons of beer people out there. I am not trying to fight with them, argue with them. They have their reviews. This is my review, and I hope it's informative to you and helpful. Very layman's terms, obviously, but not stupid. You know, that's the whole point. But thank you for watching. Thank you for keeping an eye. Hopefully it's a little more interactive with the music on. Got a little more space that I will slowly try and expand. But other than that, just definitely have this beer and have a good night.